And we're live.
Hello, everyone. This is Yole with Yole the brand. And this podcast tonight is about depression. And also, I would like to welcome my co host, Silk Mouth Motivation.
Raise the roof. Oh, we're one at.
I always say I have another co host who's a silent co host. You want to speak to everybody? No, you will not.
What he said?
He'll bust a fart for you.
I cannot stand him.
It's
Did
your,
you add? Did you add the links to your links?
I'm doing it right now.
Agree. As y'all know, this is Yoli the brand. This is her podcast debut. She's on her countdown, so she has 7 more episodes with her co-host, and then she's on her own. She's gonna be great. She tried to fly on me tonight, y'all. It wasn't happening. Me and my kids was giving her a hard time. We
Man, everything trying to give me a hard time.
was giving her a hard time tonight. So, and her show tonight is about depression and how you cope with it. Y'all celebrate my friend. She getting her own podcast started. Big business, you know what I'm saying? Big B's, bosses only, business only.
I don't know if it worked or not, but either way it goes, oh well.
Well, you can still share it. You can share it to your page.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just go to my page and then click the share, and it's gonna share to your page instantly.
Okay, so Demasha, what are some ways you deal with depression? Everybody has depression. I mean, I don't care whether it be something at some point in our lives we're depressed about.
True. Some things in your life, like I could really talk about why I started my podcast. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm?
at that moment in my life, I was in a dark place because I was in a battle. You know what I'm saying? So I can honestly say maybe I was like severely depressed because I was in a battle that I thought I would never be in. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna battle with nobody about my I'm not finna battle with nobody about my kids. Like nobody. I don't care who you is. I'm not finna battle with you about my kids. Um, auntie, grandma, sister, brother, daddy, nephew, them. Who else it got? The Lord. Nobody. I'm not finna battle about my churn. So I felt at that moment that I was in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? And I needed an outlet. But I also have an issue, um, and I know this about me. I have an issue with people, and not everybody. I just have an issue with people because people love to talk about stuff negatively. You get what I'm saying? And so I have a hard time telling people stuff because they put their own kind of negative twist on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like you could tell me you're going through something, and I'm thinking in my mind, oh dang, you know what I'm saying? Like what can I do to help? But I'm not gonna mention it to nobody else that you're going through something because that's your business. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, ooh, you're going through something. So I feel, and I'm a big person, and anybody who know me, they know I'm a big person on words have power. And so what you say about somebody, no matter who you say it to, whether it's, like whatever it is, what you say about somebody, that thing, they have to fight those negative words that you said about them. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I didn't feel like I wanted to talk to nobody particular about what was going on in my life because I didn't want them, not that I didn't want them in my business because I didn't care, but I didn't want to hear the negativity. You understand what I'm saying? So I just felt like I didn't want to share that with nobody. So I started a podcast, and I in the beginning I got on the podcast to I got on the podcast to expose the person that I was in this court battle with because I was like, you know what? Since they're gonna act like they don't want to hear what I got to say, You know what I'm saying? Somebody finna hear me. But it
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen that way. You know what I'm saying? I got on the podcast and I got on the podcast being Demasha. You know what I'm saying? Like being positive, giving people more of a scapegoat for depression or for whatever they was going through. You get what I'm saying? Can you hear
I'm
me?
sorry. Yes, I'm
So that's what I originally got on the podcast. What's wrong with you?
because my laptop ain't working. You know that's.
Oh, it's gonna work eventually, honey. Don't worry about
Mm.
it. It's gonna work. But that's why I eventually got on the podcast. So in the moments that I had that depression, I got on the podcast, and then I could say another way that I dealt with depression is I be hating when people see I'm on live and they call me. That is so aggravating to me. Like you see I'm on live, why would you call me? So I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all excuse me, but I just feel like that is so crazy. But I would say like when my daughter passed away, I think that was probably like another. And you see, each depression has to deal with my children. You know what I'm saying? Because other stuff I really don't get too down about. You know, like bills or whatever. I really don't get too down about. But my daughter passing was like a kick in the stomach for me because it was like what? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like what happened? And you just think when you like you just think that your children gonna outlive you. I don't care if it's a like people be saying, oh well, if you have a baby and the baby die right away, that ain't what I'm saying. But you have to think like that mother carried that child and felt that child moving, and you make all these expectations in your mind. You know what I'm saying about like what's the next process of life going to be. So that took me into a depression. And at the time, like I was like a prayer leader and all that stuff. I didn't want to pray for nobody. Forget the people. You know what I'm saying? And so um I had to pull myself together. Like I had to pull myself together. And so how I pulled myself together is doing pictures, um, journaling, writing, different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Not really
And,
talking to people, but just kind of like I'm to myself anyway. So
hmm
to myself.
I
So
did battle with depression over the years, and I think, hey, that's why I was smoking on a lot and doing a lot of other things too. A lot from depression from different reasons. This is crazy. Okay. Um, a lot of people don't like to talk about it. A lot of people don't come out their shell. A lot of people don't come out their house. But the times we living in, like a lot of people are depressed and miserable and lonely, and the outlet, you have to find an outlet for it.
I think in some aspects though, it's kind of hard for people to find an outlet because, like they label depression as like crazy or they label it as weak. Um, and so people don't feel privy to tell people like, and plus people talk too much. Like the whole big thing is people talk too much. Like they just talk too much. Like shut up. If somebody going through something, like shut up. Let them be able to vent to
It
somebody.
isn't
Yeah,
like,
and tell them like what's going on with you don't have to like shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I be telling people that's my favorite word. Shut up. Like you don't have to tell people because maybe they just want to talk to you and maybe they want to confide into you. But people don't feel privy to have anybody to confide in because people do too much. You know what I'm saying? They get mad at you, then they post your business all over social media, or they ain't even got to be mad at you. They just talk about you. You know what I'm saying? They put you down, they put your situation down because they miserable. So they happy that you're miserable. That's crazy.
That is true.
That's
People don't want to see you happy or doing good. So that's a big issue too. It is. It can be a group of you, and certain ones are not depressed, and certain ones are, and it's real thick. It gets real heavy, and some people don't want to deal with that, especially if instead of getting some help or whatever, you keep complaining about whatever it is you're depressed about.
I would say getting help has to be an individual thing. And the only reason why I'm going to say it has to be an individual thing is because sometimes I've known people to get help and it's hurt them more than it helped them. So it has
Mm-hmm.
to be an individual, like you have to find the right kind of help that you need. And
That's
sometimes when you're depressed, it's hard to express what you really feel, like it's hard to express, like, because me talking to people when they're in depression, it's always like, I don't know what I feel, or I don't know why this is happening. And I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So for some people, they just want to medicate you. I'm not a medication person, and people know that about me.
that.
I'm not a medication person. I don't feel like medication fixes a lot of stuff. You know what I'm
It
saying? Because it just puts a band aid on it. You're not really dealing with the root of the depression. You know what I'm saying? Because even me being depressed about my daughter passing, my original depression came from the fact of they told me I would never have children. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where the sadness come from, and then to have a child and then the child pass away. You know what I'm saying? So that was what really depressed me, because now I'm back to that original depression, that original thought, like, oh, I'm never gonna have children. You get what I'm saying? So you have to figure out what the root of everything, like when did all of this start? Because even though people, and I hate to always say trauma because that's really what it is, but people might be molested as a child, like as a teenager or as a little child. Never deal with that. Never deal with that. They just kind of put a salve on it. Nobody believed that you was molested. Nobody believed that you was touched or anything like that. And people kind of made a spectacle out of you. So then when you get into a relationship and that relationship makes you feel that same emotion, not intentionally, not intentionally, but it just makes you feel that same emotion, then you're battling that old emotion. You understand what I'm saying? So now you don't went into a world with a depression. You sad. This man don't love me. He cheated on me. This happening, that happening, and it's probably not really happening, but you're dealing with that old emotion because you
Yep.
never were able to deal with it. So, but it's hard to communicate that. It's hard to communicate that to a doctor or somebody. You know what I'm saying? So then you don't go get the help.
So what would you do in that situation with like that?
Me personally, I feel like you have to ask yourself questions when you're depressed. You know what I'm saying? Yourself. I always feel like the best information comes from self. So you have to really ask yourself, why do I feel this way? You know what I'm saying? What triggered this depression? And how long have I? It's like someone being depressed because they homeless. Maybe they've been homeless as a child before.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So being that they've been homeless as a child and then they came into adulthood and they homeless again, what really is making you feel like, oh, I lost this job, I'm not gonna have a place to stay, is that original feeling of despair, not having enough to eat because you're thinking about all that other stuff. Even though it's in the back of your head, you're still thinking about that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And
Yep,
you
that's
guess what? You might have lost your job, but maybe you're not gonna be homeless. And I made that example because I don't ever want to be homeless again. You feel what I'm
ever I ever in
saying?
my
When
free
I
life.
feel like I'm not, like this is why I'm a serial entrepreneur, is because when I feel like I'm not above water, then I'm feeling like, oh, I got to get above. Like, like what? You want to do
Something
what?
wrong,
On the room?
something wrong with
I
this
don't
and
do
something
that.
wrong with this
Yeah.
tree.
Like and I have to. And I'm learning to say, okay, I have to tell myself like, Demasha, you're fine, you're good, your bills are paid. You know what I'm saying? Like you got food, you okay. I have to talk to myself because I know I never want to be in that situation where I have to where I'm feeling like I'm struggling. You get what I'm saying? But that comes from the root of struggling.
That the struggle is real. Listen,
The
I
struggle is for real.
choose be homeless and stay with somebody and sleep on somebody else's couch again.
Sleep on somebody's couch, sleep on somebody's floor, baby. You know what I'm saying? Sleep in your car.
And with
You know,
somebody like that's
right,
over. No
right.
sheds, no storages, no bandos, no none of that.
Hmm,
No
hmm,
family member, none of that.
hmm, hmm.
Zero.
So
It's not.
exactly. So and that emotion gonna come from that original feeling of how it felt to sleep on somebody's floor, to sleep in the bando, to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? That original feeling. So you got to deal with that root problem first, because a lot of times we bring that old stuff into the new stuff, and that's what makes us depressed. That's
That
what
that,
makes that, and
that is
that's what keeps us trapped in our minds. Because in my mind, I done been homeless before, so I can doggone, like look at the situation and be like, oh, this gonna make me not have. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to deal with that. But in all reality, I'm fine. It's nothing wrong. I got a job. I got business. You understand what I'm saying? It's nothing
hustle
wrong.
stay
It's
in
just
a survival mode.
that's 100%.
Hustler stay in a survival mode.
And I
Uh,
don't want to be like that. I don't want to stay in survival mode. I don't want to stay in survival mode. I want to, come out of survival mode and be confident in the fact that I'm okay.
Man, the way the world right now, working right now, we can't get out of survival mode.
The way the girl, let me shut up. They gonna click my life for real. The way the Santos be working.
I said, man.
I'm so tired of him. Lord help
I
me.
could take a shot to you on that one. Cheers to you.
Oh, cheers to you. Here my water. Go ahead and take a shot. So
Pass that to me, sir, before you start getting into full mode over there. Missed him. Um, out of there.
so what are some other ways that you deal with depression?
Working, like training my mind on something, just doing something, whether it's cleaning, cooking, like something to music.
Music. I love music.
Listen, my top ones are water, music, and weed.
Say water, music, and weed. Um, I don't know. I would have to say I'm a loner by nature. You know what I'm saying? Like just by nature, I'm a loner. So, um, I would have to say my top, like dealing with what I'm going through or dealing with my emotions, is just being by myself. You know what I'm saying? Because people actually think I be with a lot of people all the time, and I don't.
Hey,
I
sleep
like
and sleep.
I be knocked out. I be knocked out. I
Hey,
be
y'all don't let her say, "Oh, I'm gonna call you after I take a nap." You gonna be waiting till tomorrow.
really, but I like to be by myself, so that's one of them. And then I like to read. I definitely like to read. And music would be one of them, but I listen to music 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing. Music is my thing
That-
to help
yeah.
me. Like if I'm frustrated about something, I'm instantly gonna put on NBA YoungBoy because I just
Set it off
I love
for.
I love NBA YoungBoy, but that just instantly, you know what I'm saying? Like just listening to him and listening to what he says make me laugh. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm instantly, entertained by what he's saying. So that's gonna make me laugh. And I would probably say, just probably going, if I do go somewhere, like going to a club and listening to some music or like some like a now I ain't talking about like I ain't on that hook stuff, but just like a chill spot. You know what I'm saying? A lounge. I ain't gonna even say a club, but just to sit there by myself and listen to some music and
Mm-hmm.
just scroll through my phone. That kind of like gets me in another space. I have to get to myself when I'm going through something. I can't go through it with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for me to talk to people or go through it with them. So it's better for me to just deal with whatever I'm dealing with, and then I'll come back and talk to everybody like nothing happened before. Like I ain't disappeared for like 6 months,
That is true. Now that is true.
but I
But
come
that's
back better. You know what I'm saying? Like I come back better.
and that ain't that the goal.
It is, but everybody can't do that because in the beginning of the conversation, I heard you say loneliness. And I know like during the holidays, a lot of people get lonely, because they feel like they don't have anybody to spend um, holidays with, or I don't celebrate holidays. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a big celebrator on holidays. Y'all be cooking. I like to eat. But,
Oh, and she'll make you. She'll try to make you cook too.
right. So,
Oh,
um,
I'm coming over what you cooking.
it's only 3 people that live in my house. And when 2 ain't here, ain't no sense in me cooking. I might as well go to other people's house and eat. So, but feeling lonely or feeling like um you have to have somebody with you or around you. And I guess like for me, I don't understand that emotion because I'm good being by myself. I could be by myself for 4 weeks and not talking to nobody. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? People like something wrong with you. But I'm just a loner by nature. By nature. And not that I don't love people, because I do love people. I grew up in the house with my siblings, well, my one sibling, um, and my parents, but I'm quiet. So, it's like, what we finna do? I don't want to feel like I gotta entertain nobody. Cause I know I'm not finna entertain you. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, for me, it was like the first half of my childhood. I was raised with I have an older sister. We're 7 years apart, 6 years apart, 6 years apart.
Well, that's a big
But
gap.
I felt like I was always overlooked, so it was like I was invisible. Really, you know what I'm saying? So I
Mm,
think I battled with that a lot, and that's probably why I'm like I am now. You know, wanting to be around somebody or people or whatever. You just
right.
can't be around. It just ain't working though. It is not. That's like oil and water. It is not mixing.
It's not. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
And I was raised different. I'm a country girl. Like this, the city it is totally different.
I can agree. I can
It's
agree with.
it is totally.
I can agree. So the mindsets are different. The mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up with your sister, who you 6 years apart. That's one of my sisters. I'm like three. We like 3.5 years apart. The other sister, we like 20 years apart or something.
That's what I'm saying. The other set of kids, I'm 13 years apart. Me and my
I didn't
sister.
grow up in the house with them, with her, with my baby sister. I didn't grow up in the house with her. I
No,
was
we're 20
grown and grown.
years. And my brother's 13. Like,
So you
oh,
felt like like everybody overlooked you, and they were just looking at your sister, or they overlooked everybody.
well, everybody except for the man who raised me, my daddy. Have a father. David is my father, but Robert was my daddy because he raised me. I was a daddy's girl. That's the only dad I knew since I was 9.
Okay,
And after I found out that wasn't my daddy, that's when my whole world went for
like
me.
so,
For
did
me,
that make you feel depressed, or did it just like
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. My
do
whole life out of me,
did you feel like people lied to you?
absolutely.
So
Ab-
that means the fact that they overlooked you at a young age, and then they lied to you. Did that make you feel unloved, or just
I just didn't know what to believe.
I
Yeah,
could.
it made me feel unloved, maybe unwanted. Like, why you couldn't tell me the truth?
Hmm.
But I mean, Rob raised me as his own. Like, even to the day we split, like he still did for me after that.
Were you
But
upset with him, or were you upset with everybody else?
I was upset with everybody, everybody, because everybody knew but me.
Mm,
And the way I found out was kind of crazy. So that really did it too.
right. I'm sorry, I keep coughing. I can dig it. I can dig it. So, how did you deal with that depression at that time?
I'm dealing with it at that time. Oh man, I got butt wild.
We was talking about my baby sister. She right there.
Hmm?
I said we was talking about my baby sister. She right there in the chat.
Oh yeah. Hi, baby sister.
She probably don't want to be called a baby no more, but I don't care. She's still a baby. so, so you said it made you go into a whirlwind, like using drugs and things like that.
Hmm. Hmm. I got pregnant early. I had my son at 13. I was in the seventh grade and pregnant.
Oh wow.
But wow, just but wow, just
So
I,
how did you transition out of that? You know what I'm saying? Because wow, having a baby. Okay, you had a baby at 13, right?
hmm.
But how did you transition? Like, how did that make you feel? Because that's a lot right there. First, you felt betrayed. Then you was dating. Obviously, you dating guys or whatever, hanging out, but doing drugs. And then at 13, you get pregnant.
Hmm.
So did your mama make you
Me and
take
my mom
the
was
baby?
pregnant at the same time.
Oh. Well, did your mama make you take care of the baby, or did your mama take care of the baby and you still was hanging out?
I mean, we both took care of him, and I was still hanging out.
No, okay. So essentially, your mama had two kids. Well, she had three because you was still a baby at 13. So it was you, your sister who older than you, and then your younger sibling
Mhm.
and your baby.
Two siblings, yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I don't think, no. Mm-mm. First, my mom probably would have killed me to have a baby. I probably would have been dead.
And listen, my mama took me to the clinic and all. Like I was 6.5 months pregnant when we found out I was pregnant. When them
Oh,
people put me on the table and hooked me up, my baby's heartbeat was strong.
oh wow.
My mama swear she told them people to lie. No, like I was pregnant. Oh baby, like it
Oh.
was too late. He
So
was there.
that travel, all of that stuff, that beginning stuff traveled into your older
Mm,
age.
yeah,
I remember on the last podcast you said you had did drugs for like 30 years.
it is. I'm 44.
Wow. Wow.
It,
So but when do you start to battle with the stuff enough to get off the drugs? I always tell you, like, I commend people, especially brown people, because y'all, like, we would get off some drugs and stop doing alcohol and all that stuff and never go to an AA meeting, a drug rehab, no nothing, which
I
means
got
that we are
I
very strong willed. You know what I'm saying? Like, very strong willed.
still
And
be messed up.
huh?
Still be messed up.
Yeah, you still gonna battle that stuff. It don't matter because like I was telling somebody the other day, I was telling them that I even though I ain't smoking, I want to smoke. You feel what I'm saying? Like I could taste the nicotine. It's like I just think about it. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, girl, you tripping? You tripping? You know what I'm saying? It could be the vape. I could just taste it in my mouth because I did it for so long. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mm.
a part of me, but it's a part of me that I gotta let go. So
I mean, I have thought about getting out again, but I'm not. Like, I'm not even finna put myself at risk like that. You
right,
know what I'm saying? Because it's the difference between the drugs back then. That was the '90s. So it's good then. That was the 90s, you know what I'm saying?
All the time people be talking about
The
hit the
90s
flip.
was the shit, boy.
I ain't
90s,
doing I don't know what kind of weed y'all smoking now. No, 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 no. I don't
right,
know.
for real. People
When we was
spraying their teeth,
young,
everything.
back in the day, they used to have, like people be smoking. I might smoke with you because I ain't, like I don't know what y'all smoking now. People, nah, what y'all got to know? I just be looking around like, okay, like y'all be careful.
But yeah, it's a battle. But it's worth taking care of. Take care of it sooner than later if you
Does it
depressed.
cause you to get down and sad sometimes? Like some days?
I be depressed sometimes and don't even know why. Cause like when I really sit down and look at man, if people on my life,
Hmm.
it's good. Life is good. Like Drake does, life is real good.
Computer over. Go ahead. 'Cause I just want y'all to know I'm in a constant battle with her. I tell her all the time, your life is good. Your life is good. Like your life is good. No life
Yeah,
is perfect. You know what I'm saying? But your life is good. You have this, and you have this, and you have that, and this, that, and the other is going on. And now, what are you upset about?
yeah.
And she said, "Look, that's what she do every time." She like, but that's what depression does to you. That's what it does to you
I
because
told
even
him the same thing, and he like, well, why do you feel like I don't? Just tell you how I feel. Just listen. That's it. Like,
and it's only because it's stuff that's still from earlier, previously. You know what I'm saying? That maybe you suppress, you haven't talked about it. Because even though you go through life, right? You go through life and you've been off drugs for a long time. You feel what I'm saying? But you still got that stuff that you did not tell people. Stuff that happened to you in those late nights or them early mornings or when you felt fear or when you felt like somebody was controlling you or when you was being abused or when you was abusing somebody else. Whatever.
oh,
You know what
don't
I'm
do
saying?
that.
Or them times when you thought you was gonna lose your life from, whatever drug you had taken. You understand what I'm saying? So it's still stuff that this lady thing, she always messing with something, y'all. I promise you. Now watch how she come back up here like, wait a minute.
See, it causes you to do the retarded shit like that.
I just told them I said she always messing with something. Like it never I
That's
just
why I
snapped
want to
it
be
out
on
here. I just
my
snapped it
laptop.
out here like, give me this, girl. Like stop. Like, golly, stop messing with stuff like a child. Put that down. Why are you touching that?
I got to
Leave
be
it
doing
alone.
something with my hands.
Leave it alone. Sit down somewhere good. But like I said, it causes those
Just a
feelings
second.
again. Uh, this y'all know what? These be the hoodest podcasts in the world. Where did she go? She talking about just a second. Y'all see how I bet some of y'all be distracted like this. I be distracted like this sometimes. But this lady done went and did a whole. I don't know what she doing. I don't know what she doing.
I know you heard me say, hold on. I know you heard me.
That's a
I
nice
know
yellow
you
dress you
heard me.
got on.
Oh, thank you.
That's cute. That's a real cute dress. But
I'm gonna do something else when before we go and show you the other Juneteenth prints that I
I'm
chose to.
I'm ready. Um. So anything else you want to share about depression? Yeah. This is her getting into her podcast. So we just here talking and she going through her thing. She introduced the podcast today. I was proud of her. See how she rolled her eyes? I said I was proud of her.
I still ain't figured out my name other than healed. That's all I can say.
You gonna figure
I'm
it out.
Cause yeah, yeah.
We'll figure it out. It's gonna be fine.
See, she's.
It, it,
I'm glad she has so much faith, y'all. I swear to God.
it's gonna be fine. You know, people. I keep telling people that you don't know. People don't know you're messing up unless you say I'm messing up. You understand what I'm saying? Like they don't know because they just looking at what you're doing. They gonna have their little tidbits, talking, and you got the people out there who laughing because they can't. They thinking like, dang, I really want to do something like that. But instead of asking her how she did it, I'm gonna talk about her instead of, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put her down for what she doing.
And
You
that's
know,
what it be. And that's what it be.
I know exactly what it be. That's why I don't do people like that. I just like to be to myself. I ain't got time. And my mouth is like, what?
And I know the whole time you dealing with the same thing.
Right. Instead of just asking me like, how you do it? Well, where'd you get that information from? You know what I'm saying? I would like to do something like that. Okay, cool, do it. It's 1,000 podcasts. Let's all do it. Everybody start a podcast because in a minute the Santos ain't gonna let us watch TV. Anyway, y'all got a problem with the Santos, so don't get into this with me. Show us your prints, Yole. Did you know that the Santos
In
conversation is
other
always
news, hey,
like what?
little
What did he say? What did that boy say? Yoli the brand actually is a she does t-shirt printing. So she is gonna show all of us her new prints. Oh, back it up a little bit. Oh, pause. Uh-oh. I paused my game to celebrate June. Yeah, somebody need to buy that. Y'all know y'all need to buy that shirt right there. Some of y'all who be on the video games. Yeah. Show back
um,
on Juneteenth. What this is.
no, I chose something different. I wanted to be
Oh, this
different
is
this year.
nice. I really like that. What that say, July 4th, don't set me free. Uh-huh. Juneteenth is my Independence Day. Says us. And DeSantos saying in Florida, nobody is free. I'm just go
We
ahead.
on the slave ship.
All slaves. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that. Is that her lips?
Yep.
Oh my god. I love how dark it is. Like I love how this I like that.
Oh
It,
yeah, she's a chocolate baby.
I like that. That's really pretty.
You know you like red lipstick.
All the time. All the time. I know people sick of me in my red lipstick, but I like my red lipstick. That was the end.
I got one more for the new ones. All the other ones online. You haven't seen all the other ones. Oh,
Hold
can
on.
you?
I can't really see it. Oh yeah, that's cute too. Can that go on the dress?
Yeah.
That t-shirt look long, so is that one?
Girl, yes. It is.
I like it. That's nice. Those nice prints. So how much you selling those prints for?
Those are 25. You can add on if you want to. It'll be a little extra. But each extra print that you want on there is $5 additional. If you want to put your name on the back or a number or something, girl, yes, you can. You're gonna be talking in a minute. Whole conversation. You know, somebody's power.
Too funny. Too funny.
Somebody's power.
What
But
anything else you want to share, Miss Yoli?
hey, listen, if anyone is to pray, I only say this because I lost a very dear friend recently. Uh, don't know what exactly happened, but depression is real, and people do hurt themselves behind it. And before you do something like that, hey, talk to Jesus, somebody, something. Like the say, write in a journal, sing to yourself. If you got a phone, talk into it. It's got
Start a podcast.
start a podcast, write a book, whatever it may be. Please get some help. And As a unit in the world, we're losing enough people as it is. We need to try and keep as many strong people as possible. So that's all a part again of your mindset and keeping your mind as balanced as possible. I'm telling you, that's why I'm doing this podcast to keep myself balanced as possible. Real deal. Uh, you guys help me to help you, some shape, form, fashion.
You better help me to help you. Okay, I like it. I don't particularly know, except for I don't think that I've lost anybody to depression, uh, per se. But I will say this: that depression is serious. It's real. Um, I get it's hard to talk to people because people are so judgmental. But there are some of us out here that are not judgmental, and we're not judging you because we understand that people go through things, and you get sad, and you get down, and you get depressed, and you get upset, and life happened, and traumas done happen in your life repeatedly over and over again. So you have to find your tribe. And I've been telling people like you got to find your tribe. You got to find a tribe of people that's not gonna talk about you behind your back. That's not gonna put you down. And I don't want to hear that mess about everybody talk about everybody behind their back because they don't.
They don't.
They honestly don't. You know, it's some real people out here
We
who
talk about each other in each other's face.
I'm just
Like,
telling you. So and if you mention in a story about a friend, and you're not dropping names, and nobody is asking names, you just mentioned in the story. They don't know that what I'm saying, who you're talking about or the situation that you're talking about. So that's a little different. But just to be putting somebody down and disrespecting them in their weakened state. I'm not gonna say weakest state, but their weakened state, because we all go through stuff. No matter how positive you are, no matter how much money you got, no matter where you live at, no matter what your social status is, we all go through something.
man,
Something.
look how millionaires done killed themselves. Actors,
I think
doctors. Look how
I think
many
my biggest
millionaires have killed themselves, and they millionaires.
I think my biggest thing is the young women that's killing themselves. That's kind of like really bothering me. It's really weighing
It
down on my heart.
is. It is.
Like I'm on TikTok a lot, so I'm not really on Facebook, even though people think I am. I just get on there and post, but I really like TikTok, and so just watching all the young women that have killed themselves because they feel like they ugly, and they be so beautiful, like so beautiful, but that comes from judgmental society.
And being told you ugly like when you was younger. Oh, you
Right.
fat. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. That shit has effect. That shit affects too.
Here's
Cause
the reason why
I
I
wasn't all sexy.
Right. Here's the reason why I don't allow people to call my kids anything other than their name. And I don't care who you is, a family member or whatever. If you can't call my kids their name and you calling them fat, black, ugly, whatever, whatever, dummy, I don't play like that at all with nobody and with nobody else's kids. Because what you say to somebody, they internalize that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
And
do.
later on, it comes out. But anyway, depression is real.
And it's real in kids.
Little
Kids.
children,
Not just adults. Kids.
5, 6,
Uh,
7.
Kids. Man. They supposed to be learning their alphabets and how to write between the little red dotted and the pink thick line. And they depressed. Come on now.
So,
And they can't really talk. They really don't know how to express it. They don't even know what the hell going on.
mm,
So if you can help somebody else or help yourself, please do. I know I am. I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for this wonderful specimen in front of you guys.
oh God. Boy, they be feeling themselves on this podcast.
Ah!
So, Yole the brand, you can end your show the way you want to end it.
Uh, with a positive note. Oh, and a prayer. You want to say a prayer, please, Demasha?
I'm not finished.
What?
I'm
It's
not.
11:11. Come on, see, right on time.
It's not 11:11 at my house. It's 11:09.
11:09. Computer wrong. No wonder it didn't work. His whole thing off. Oh my gosh.
It's 11:09. I don't know why this lady want to get me up here tomorrow praying. I ain't on that today.
You better be glad I got something stuck.
Oh, y'all bow your heads. No, this playing, this playing. But
Say, our Father. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
no, ain't nobody father. I'm sorry, y'all. I listen, y'all. Whatever religion is y'all religion, mine is mine. Don't tell
That's
nobody
right.
how
That
to
that
do
yeah.
it, and y'all ain't gonna tell me how to do mine. So, but I ask that you just keep us safe today, that you remove any harm from anyone, people that are feeling depressed or down and out and they feel less than anybody or anything or any situation. Just lift them up today and give them peace, give them hope, give them love, give them an open door and the ability to speak to someone who is non judgmental and someone that's going to speak light and life into their light. Ashe.
I say, I say,
I
I
wanted, to
say.
say, I wanted to say so much more, but I don't want to say so much more. But I just want y'all to know, like, there are people in the world that are not judgmental, that are going to support you and going to love you and going to um, either direct you in the positive path or help you with your situation. You know what I'm saying? So everybody in this world is not on the crazy stuff.
That's
They
it.
they really not on that. So some people are really
Own your truth.
yeah. And own your truth. You are who you are.
That's
And it is
it.
what it is.
Own your
That's the name of your podcast.
own your truth.
She got it, y'all. See, this is what happened when you get on here and you just start talking. And we just rambling alone. I know y'all probably like these ladies is crazy. But she need to do this. This is how she gonna make her podcast better and better and better and better every time. And she gonna get used to talking and being up here by herself. It's 11:11 now.
I say.
So, all right, Miss Yoli, close your podcast out, girl.
Like I say, own your truth. Be who you are. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're intelligent. You're gorgeous. You're worthy.
I'm all that. Thank you.
Yes, girl.
Thank you. Oh my God. Go
So,
ahead.
and that's it. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you whether you shared it, viewed it. It don't matter. You clap, tick that button. That's that. I'll take that. It helps me to possibly help somebody else.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night.